Welcome back, everybody. Today we got a little repair video for everyone. If you've got these ReoLink cameras, or really any of these cameras that have batteries that can't be replaced, generally they can. IP camera, ReoLink Go PT. So it says power is 3.6 volts, 23 watt hours. So you can look down there, it says capacity 6,500 milliamp hour, lithium ion. 18650s in here, which we did confirm they are. But ReoLink does not sell a replaceable battery pack, to my knowledge. I looked online and everything. You have to contact them directly, and then reading some of the forums on these older cameras, they don't want to give you any parts. They kind of want to just sell you a new model or sell you a later version of this. But these cameras, they're not super cheap. And if you can replace the stuff very easily, why not? You're only gonna need a few things. We got like a little spot welder here, some replacement batteries, and all these things can be found on Amazon, like always, where we get everything. But you see there's 3,400 milliamp hours. So this is actually more capacity than what came with it. You're gonna need some isolators. You're gonna need some of the green insulation paper probably, and then some of the soldering nickel tabs or iron, whatever you're using to connect them. So basically, we went ahead and we unscrewed, and you'll have a plug like this. It'll be plugged into the circuit board. Once you unplug it and separate it, you're gonna have this piece left over, and you're gonna have to pry this piece off, and we got it off, and sometimes they break, sometimes they don't. But inside there is gonna be your circuit board. That's the charging port. You can disconnect that very easily. Here's your batteries and your charging board. This is the board that's kind of in there like that, and the batteries sit in here on top of it. Everything's kind of wrapped up and wound up. You got to unwind it and everything. And if you're getting into something like this, you know how to take electronics and unwind things apart, hopefully. But as we see here, that's our balance lead connections and everything, and getting it off, we actually broke the plastic on one side. It didn't mess the pins up or anything, but you have to be careful pulling these out. So these look like they're in series, because if we look at the bottom here, again, it says 3.6 volts. So we know that these cells are generally 3.7 volts right there. So both of these are connected positive to positive, negative to negative, and it goes into the balance board here. So what we're gonna have to do is cut these tabs off to free up these 18650s and re-solder everything together. Now, what was happening was when this was plugged in outside during the day and with the solar panel, this camera would run fine. Towards the evening when the sun passed over and it wasn't getting that much solar, we would start to lose connectivity. And for a while, I didn't understand what it was. I would run up there, charge it through here with an external battery pack, get it boosted up, and it would run for a couple days. But then it would always taper back off. It would always continually taper off. So we got it inside and realized that, you know, after 2 or 3 winters being out there, probably no fault due to the ReoLink batteries. We had some shading going on, so the batteries probably just really got too low and discharged and they can't recover. And that's where we're at now with it. So these are some upgraded batteries. They're really good batteries. We used them before. They are rated for what they are on the side, 3,400, sometimes a little higher. And what we're gonna do now is just cut these tabs off and get these batteries apart. All right, we got the board separated. Now everything on here is super glued. They obviously do not want you to take this apart. So carefully get the temp probes off the side of the battery here. Let's focus. Carefully get the temp probes off. We ended up stripping a little bit of the insulation. It's not a problem. Get a sharp razor and cut it off of the side of the battery, which was right there. You see, they just super glued everything in here. So we're gonna have to carefully cut the batteries out now off of this pack. Again, just simply slice the outer jacket there and pull the battery off. Now you're left with a little plastic compartment to keep them in. Just clean it up, and then we're gonna get these new batteries on here, and again, just super glue them like they were. All right, you're gonna use the battery half shell here that comes off the bottom as a template. Get your batteries in there, get everything lined up looking good. And then we centered the middle piece here. We pushed the batteries to one side so that everything's even, and we're just gonna run a quick bead of super glue and let it dry. Then we're gonna take it back out and do the other side, and that way we'll have this case on there properly. We ended up not having enough strip here to wrap around the top in the way that we wanted. It would have made it, but it would just been too tight. So we took the strip, I believe this is nickel strip, and it's pretty thick. So we took it and just cut it in half with a regular pair of scissors. We're gonna use the spot welder and just extend the tabs out here. We won't be able to show you on camera because we need both hands, but we will show you when we start to spot weld the battery back together. All right, we got those extra tabs soldered on. It's gonna be a real simple process here. We are just gonna literally tack it on there, and it's an automatic welder. So we will see, well, maybe it didn't work. Hold on a second. Let's try that one more time. There it is. And then we'll get one more in here. Oh, that one came disconnected. But you get the point. It solders it on there, so you're gonna wanna do that to all 4 batteries. Make sure your polarity is correct. That is negative down here and positive up top. So we're just gonna finish up tidying these battery tabs up and come back. We got everything soldered up, and what we did was we put some insulating caps back over it to stop any type of possibility of a short circuit. But we went ahead and super glued the temp sensors back on. We're gonna put the red insulator caps back on here, and we're gonna test this thing out and see if it will charge. We got everything tidied up. We got our battery pack here, and when we plug it in and hit the power button here, we should have just an orange light lit up, not the flashing green and orange. And there it is. Solid orange light. It is charging into here. This system is now good. The battery pack assembly fit in there well. We're gonna snap the top back on, plug everything in, get it back together.